So I was at the grocery store and I was checking out with my organic produce, and we're in a country town, so we got like country farmer boys working the grocery store, and they think they know everything because their daddies and their granddaddies have been farming for centuries, and sure, you probably know a lot. I get that. They probably know how to make a plant come out of the ground easier than I do because I tried to grow a few plants on my back porch this year. Didn't really work out. I'm not trying to hate on them. But I love all my friends and family. I don't know these guys, but I consider everybody family. These are my conservative family. I'm a libertarian. I got liberal family too. We're all in this together. But the guy goes, why would people buy organic food? I just don't get that. Like, why would you pay more money for organic food? Uh, and one of my baby mamas also is the same way. She's got a sister who's just like, it's a complete scam. All organic food's a scam. Of course, we can trust uh, regular food that comes from the government. I love GMOs because GMOs make it so we can grow more food for everybody. Okay, and in one sense, that's a little bit true. You do get higher yields with GMOs and genetically modified things, whether it's selective breeding and splicing, which is technically not considered genetically modified if it's selective breeding by legal standards, or, spraying chemicals on it to keep the bugs off, or giving it growth hormones. But let's think about that. I mean, they're even growing food now with the pesticides in it so you can't wash it off. And there is a whole group of people that say, well, of course that's perfectly safe to eat. The government wouldn't let us eat it if it wasn't. The FDA wouldn't approve it if it wasn't safe. Right, like they approved things in 2021 that were not safe for everyone to use, and people used them anyway, and people died from them. And you know what I'm talking about if you think about what they approved in 2021. But the point is that it's like, okay, a lot of organic stuff is a scam, especially when it comes to things like Walmart organic. I wouldn't trust that crap with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't trust any of their produce at Walmart. It's all the cheapest, bottom of the barrel stuff. For organic, farmers can hire their own organic inspectors, and then they pay them to to say whatever they want them to say. I mean, yes, it can very much be a scam, but organic food is still better. It's still there's still better organic food out there. There's good organic food out there, especially when you're buying local. And the issue is, he asked, why do people do it? Why do people buy organic food? Well, because I don't want to be getting cancer at 50 and dying at 60 like y'all's grandparents and parents are. Great grandparents probably not, because 50, 80 years ago they weren't spraying all these nasty chemicals on these plants. They were getting a lot lower yields, a lot, and things like that. But I mean, okay, at least it's safer to eat. And now we're sitting here developing cancer at 50, and the doctors, of course, aren't telling you that it's the food you're eating, or if they are telling you that, they're telling you it's the Little Debbie's and the snack cakes that you're eating, and the junk food that you're eating, not the fact that your food is actually laced with um, chemical based pesticides and chemical based growth hormones. And that stuff's terrible. That whether it's vegetables or meat, you don't know what local farmers or big corporate chain farmers are feeding their animals or feeding their plants to get them to grow bigger yields, whether that's a fatter cow or more produce on the vine. And the I am fully confident that most of these companies are pumping nasty chemicals into these plants and animals to get higher yields. As long as the FDA approves it, why not, right? Okay, well, now we're getting into Democrat and Republican science. Remember, we've talked about that in my channel a lot. Democrat science says that it's perfectly safe to eat soy and Impossible Burgers and Beyond Burgers and fake meat. Conservatives know that this isn't true. Conservative science says that it's perfectly safe to eat all these nasty chemicals that they spray on the plants and that they pump into the ground. And Christmas tree farming, don't tell that to Christmas tree people because they'll lose their mind. But they pump the worst chemicals into Christmas tree farming and into the groundwater, and people are getting cancer that live downhill from these Christmas tree farms up here in these Appalachian mountains, and they are dying at like 40. People feed this water to their dogs, and their dogs are dying after like a couple years of drinking this water because it's downhill from Christmas tree farms. I mean, and the FDA approves this, okay? And conservatives will bite your head off, and some liberals too, because it brings jobs. Christmas tree farms bring jobs, and so they will bite your head off if you say anything bad about their chemicals that they're pumping into the ground and into these plants and into these animals, whether it's edible or not edible. Things that aren't edible, they just pump all sorts of chemicals into the ground for those. And conservative science says that it's completely safe to eat all this stuff. And why would you do otherwise? So again, we got Democrat science and Republican science, conservative and liberal science. And I mean, if you want to trust one, if you trust the science of your political party, if you trust your government, just remember the old axiom. Y'all gonna keep on trusting your government until your pronouns are was and were. Okay? So why do I eat organic? Because it's better than crappy food that has been grown with chemicals. I mean, it's better than that at least. I tried to grow some food I have no yard to speak of in my house, so I tried to grow some food on my back porch this year. Didn't work out. My ex-wife grew a crap ton of tomatoes in her yard. So, I mean, that's some nice organic tomatoes I was able to get for a month. I got another buddy who, I mean, he understands this, very conservative guy, but understands this chemical crap real big time. And he has a big old garden in his mama's backyard, and he's able to grow lots of great produce. And I mean, he sells a little bit maybe here and there, gives a lot away to family and friends. But I mean, that's the point. That's what we need to all be doing, is having our backyard gardens. And nobody cares about that. Everybody cares more about social media, watching TV, and diddling on their phones, and watching the naughties. And it is what it is. But I mean, when you ask me why I'm eating organic, why do I spend extra money on organic when I'm working a dead-end job and I don't make that much money? Because I want to raise my kid that we need to eat the best freaking food possible, so that we aren't getting cancer at 50 and dying at 60, when there are people out there who are living in America, who are living to be 80, 90-year-old bodybuilders, who are sitting here pumping their bodies full of good, clean, organic food, whether they're vegetarian or not, whether they eat meat or not. Fake meat is bad. Soy, non-soy, things where the ingredients list on the back is that long, and half of it 90% of it you can't even pronounce. That trash is terrible. I'm not going to sit here and name off all the name brands, but I've been vegetarian for 20 years, and I ate that crap for about 10 to 15 years, and I have noticed issues with my morning routines, if you get my meaning. I'm not going to go further into that, they were more painful 5 years ago, before I changed my diet, cut out all fake meat and fake cheeses, and started actually eating real cheese without rennet in it, because I love animals. I mean, don't you want to judge me for being a vegetarian, whatever, that's my life choice. But I mean, I'm not sitting here eating this trash either. And I mean, all these people who judge vegetarians are eating trash anyway. Snack cakes and garbage and white sugar and all this crap, bleached sugar, bleached flour, and sucking down cigarettes, and I just gave up weed recently. It's like, man, you don't know what these people are pumping into weed. All these people are trying to get their pot plants to grow huge, and pumping chemicals into that. Gave that up a few months ago. I can pass a pee test now, but I mean, it's terrible. Think about your alcohol. Think about all the grains and stuff that they're growing. Grains and corns are some of the most genetically modified, chemical sprayed. I know people get mad when I say genetically modified. They're like, we wouldn't have broccoli and corn without genetic modification. Well, okay, yeah, that was more like selective breeding, like hundreds of years ago, which is not considered by government standards to be genetic modification, but whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about spraying plants with chemicals. I'm talking about growing the plants with chemicals inside of them. feeding your animals chemicals to make them fatter and get larger yields. That's what we're talking about here. And that's the crap that is causing parents and grandparents to be weak and dying at 50, 60, 70 when they could be living to be 80, 90, potentially even 100 if they were sitting here eating nothing but organic food, produce and meats, not Little Debbie's and, oh, I wasn't going to name names, not white sugar, not snack cakes, not all this crap ice cream. I saw an old man the other day buying 5 buckets of ice cream. Maybe he had the grandkids coming up or something, but good Lord. 5 buckets of grocery store brand ice cream and a couple of frozen TV dinners. I know that a lot of older men, their wives pass away and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna eat what I can till I go. Well, that's rough, and I'm really sorry that that's how you feel. But my Lord, I got kids to raise, and I want to see my grandchildren, and I want to grow up, and I want to live. I'm 40 now. I want to break 100, and that ain't going to happen. That will not happen if I'm eating chemical laced foods and all the garbage on the shelves in the grocery store. I want to start a farm. I'm filing bankruptcy now because I tried to start a business and that didn't work out. But I mean, growing your own food is the only safe way to go. But if you can't do that, good grief, please eat real organic food from the organic markets that are trying to provide you with food that is not laced with trash chemicals, like, and hormones and pesticides like that. That's why I eat organic. That's why I don't waste my money on trash food and grocery store brand food and to save an extra dollar. That's why I make the choice to spend a little bit more money on a little bit better food for me and my kid so that we can try to be a little bit healthier, because that chemical laced food ain't gonna do it for you. Thanks for watching. More to come. Love every single human being on earth, Democrats, Republicans. I'm a libertarian and I love every one of you. That's what Jesus taught, right? I'm not even Christian and I know that. Peace.